Hello and welcome to episode 126, entitled Dealing with No. People get frustrated when they hear the word no, and many people are ready to attack, which is the wrong thing to do. No can be honorable, no can be saying the right thing, no can be necessary. So it's important to take a couple steps back when somebody says no and view it as a learning process. My name is Vierheller, and I'll be your host for what we call the Substance of Living podcast. Today, we'll look at what we call life's lessons. And I hope this will provide you with some insight, maybe even some inspiration to life's challenges. The first thing you want to learn, the reasons behind the no. The real reasons behind the no. And once you get to those real reasons, you get to, well, why is that true? How does that apply? Gather information. Your target is to gather as much information about the reasons behind the word no. That's first step. Second step, you want to clarify. So let me see if I understand. Notice I said, let me see if I understand. Not, let me see if I understand you, or let me see if I'm following you. No. You want to give the person who's saying no the freedom to help you understand. If you're pointing at them, let me see if I understand you, now you're attacking them. What you want to do is give them the freedom to help you. So let me see if I understand, because my understanding is my responsibility, not anybody else's. So let me see if I'm following. The information is, and then you feed it back to them, and they will help clarify. They will help you. And what you're doing by clarifying is you're sending three messages. I'm listening to you. I want to learn and understand. Please help me. So you want to learn the reasons, and you start doing that by asking for the reasons, asking why, asking when, asking how, asking the question words about the reasons. Then from there, you clarify. So let me see if I'm following. The information is da 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 da, and they'll help you clarify what the reasons are. And you say, okay, so what is it you want instead of what I proposed? You said no to that. What is it that you would want? What is it that you would prefer? And again, you use clarify to help make sure that you understand. So number one, learn the reasons really deeply. Don't just stop at the first reason, but say, well, how does that apply? When, where, what? Get as much data as possible. And then number two, you clarify. Make sure that you have that good information. Number three, you want to determine what they want. What is it they want? What is it they hope to achieve? What's their long-term goal here? Let me give you an example. And this is from Getting to Yes, a book that was published by the Harvard Negotiating Committee. And they negotiated peace between Israel and Egypt, for example. They negotiated peace between Colombia and the rebels and the guerrillas in Colombia. And when they were interviewing the guerrillas, they were saying, well, what is it you hope? What is it you want? What do you want? Okay, what happens after you get that? And the guerrillas, the people that were rebelling, well, we're not sure. Well, let's talk about that. Once you establish a long-term goal, then all you have to do is determine the steps from that long-term goal, and this is called backward chaining or backcasting. What's a step before that? What's a step before that? What's a step all the way to the present? So you want to determine what they want. Then you also want to talk about what you want. Long-term. Not just this particular situation now, but over the long term, this leads to X and Y and Z. You need to define that and share that with them, because they were kind enough to help you understand what their long-term big picture goal is. Once you've got that, now you can together find solutions. And the solutions are always based upon principles, universal principles: honor, integrity, trust, truth, bravery, to speak truth to power, even though you might not benefit, but it's important to base what you're determining to do upon principles, universal principles. Then you ask, okay, so we've got this idea, we've got, now what is possible? What is it that we can do? So let's go over that. Dealing with no, one, learn the reasons, the deep reasons, not just the surface, but the reasons behind that, the reasons behind that, the reasons behind that. Number two, clarify, make sure that you understand what you heard them say. And they will help you if you can clarify properly by saying, let me see if I understand. Then you determine what they want, not just now, but what is the final goal. Then determine what you want. What is my long-term goal? And then based upon principles, determine what can we do, what is possible. That's one way with steps on how to deal with no. Good luck. Thank you for joining us today for the Substance of Living podcast. If you'd be kind enough to consider subscribing, you can contact us through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or connect on Twitter. Join us again next time for what I hope will help you navigate life.